Let's talk about inheritance and polymorphism. Alright, friends, back and tell you once more, and in this video we're talking about, inheritance and polymorphism, two very long words, luckily or hopefully though, not as crazy, specifically polymorphism. It sounds super scary, but I'll show you that it's actually, hopefully, not as crazy as you might think. So for this, we're actually going to delete sort of everything that we have before, except for the creation of both Benji and Jeremy. As per usual, of course, all of the code is linked down below. And super important for this particular video over here, feel free to leave some feedback in the comments if you've understood the concept of inheritance and polymorphism well enough, because we're going to have one example over here with dogs and animals, but I'm happy to also make another example video with maybe like cars and vehicles and things like that, because maybe, you know, you'll just need another sort of way to have this put. Basically, this video and the next are sort of, you know, hard to grasp concepts for the first time. So once again, if you need another example of this, I'm happy to basically sort of append this just at the end, because why not? Just have like an episode, I guess 22A and 22B. Why not? Regardless though, inheritance and polymorphism. So let's just say, right, we are dog lovers, sure, absolutely amazing, but you know what? I want a cat too. So now in my Kaupenjoe package right here, I'm going to right click new Java class and I'm going to make a cat. Now, what you'll find is the following. When we think about it, it's like, I mean, really a cat is going to have a picture and it's going to have a name and it's going to have an age. All right, that's totally okay. We're going to just copy this over, right? Let me just sort of change a few things over here so we don't have the comments over here. The reason why we're getting an error for the final, by the way, is because we're not actually giving it any value, right? So if we do not have a value given to something, then we can't make it final. So for the sake of argument, we're just going to make it non-final. But now you're like, okay, this is all fine. But pretty much, I mean, when we think about it, like, I mean, it's basically also the same constructor. So we just copy it over here. So the only thing that we don't have here is the number of dogs, but the rest over here pretty much stays the same. I mean, that's pretty much it, right? So you can see, it seems like there's a lot of overlap in these two classes. And one thing that's super important, we can actually just write this down over here. If something repeats, we can do something. Now you might say, that's you know, Kaupenjoe, the wisdom of the ages over here. Okay, listen. The idea is that if you have to repeat code, right? If you have to continuously copy over certain parts of the code and then reuse them somewhere else, somewhere in there, there's a better way of doing things, okay? And the better way of doing things is very straightforward. And what is that straightforwardness? That is inheritance. So what we're going to do is, what is a cat and what do those two have in common? Well, they both have 4 legs. They both have a tail. Sure, but what are they? What class are they? They are both animals. Oh, so now in Kaupenjoe, we're going to make a new class. I'm going to call this the animal class right here. And now this one, oh, you will be struck by awesomeness over here, because you're going to say, wait, that's it? Indeed. So what we're going to have is the following. The animal class is going to save the fields. So we're going to cut them out again from the cat right here. And we're going to just make it, let's say we make this protected right here. And we're going to make the other two private in this case, just so that we can also see that the picture will then be available to the subclasses and the other two will not. The animal is going to have a public animal right here. So it's going to be a public animal. And of course, it's going to have a string image. It's going to have a string name, and it's going to have an int age here on its constructor. And the contents of the constructor are going to be exactly the same that we've seen previously. We're going to say, well, I guess it's not picture, it's image. Wait, what did I call it? I called it picture. Well, then it should be a picture right here as well. I feel like that's fair. So it's going to be picture equal to picture. I'm going to say this.name is equal to name. And finally, this.age is equal to age. So exactly what we've seen previously with the dog, and literally what we put into the cat as well. We no longer need any of this for the cat. And now it gets even crazier, okay? Because what we had before is, we had this and we had a birthday method and we had all sorts of different things right here. But for the time being, I just want to, well, basically be able to get the functionality over. So how would we do this? Well, right now we have these fields right here. We're going to get rid of them. Boom. Now everything is freaking out. Oh, we don't have an age anymore. We don't have a, oh, calm down, calm down. What we're going to do is the dog, right up here, public class dog, will now extends from the animal class right here. Boom. Now right here, we will get one more issue, and that is, well, we're going to see there is no super. So it says no R constructor, okay? But basically we need to call the super. Now this is why I mentioned this previously. The super class of dog is the animal, because that's basically just how the hierarchy works. So this is at the top of the hierarchy, and then sort of inheriting down is the dog. And for this to work, because we have a constructor of an animal, we need to also construct the animal when we're constructing a dog. So that means within the dog constructor, we must call the super keyword, which is nothing else but, so this is basically the same as saying, wait, new animal, right? And then whatever we basically put in there. That's the same idea, just that it's called super in this case. And here we can literally just say picture, name, age. And we can even see if I started typing this, it actually suggests all of the different parameters to us, and it auto-completes the entire thing. So we no longer need to do this sort of manually, right? So this is the same as a new animal, basically the same as new animal, right? And we can still keep our number of dogs over here. There's nothing wrong with that. Now we have two sort of issues, and that is that our age right now is private and our name over here is private. But I tell you, well, okay, that's fair, right? So we can say, oh, we should probably make, put this either to public or somehow have access to it. But then I tell you, okay, wait a second though. Can't a cat have a birthday too? And can't we get the age of the cat too? Now you can ask, can a cat bark? Well, maybe it can make a sound. So maybe what we should actually do is all of this stuff over here, right? I've cut it out. So I've selected it and I cut it out. And actually, maybe all of this stuff is going to go to the animal over here. And all of a sudden, everything works because the private age is accessible in the same class. Now, one thing that I definitely do not like is the bark here. No. This is going to be a make sound method. And this is going to be the main sort of thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to polymorphism as well. Okay, because that's the thing. So here we're going to say name made a sound. Okay, because an animal, can make a sound, but only a dog can bark and only a cat can meow. And we're also going to add another method right here, which is going to be the display info method, just so that it's like we have an easy way to basically output this. So we're going to say name over here. So sout name is going to be name, and then just duplicate this twice with Control D. This is going to be age over here, age, years. And finally, this is going to be the image or the picture. That's fine. And then here it's going to be the picture. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Now let's delete this over here. The getter can stay. That's fine. I think that's totally okay. And now we have the dog, and the dog will have the exact same behavior as we had before. Okay. Like we literally can now just do the same thing. Benji dot display info. We can say Benji dot birthday. We can say Benji dot display info. Now your first thought might be, wait a second. None of those methods are a part of the dog class. Yes, because every method that we've defined in the animal class gets inherited by the dog class so that we can literally just use it. We can then say basically over here, Benji makes sound. And if we go through this and we call this, boom, right? Age, name Benji, 11 years old, Benji PNG. And then we had a birthday and then it's 12 and Benji made a sound. And now here comes the kicker. Here comes the absolutely ridiculous thing of all of this stuff. So that's all fine and well, but what about our cat? Our cat doesn't have anything right now. Sure, that's fair. But what if this also extends from the animal class right here? Now, what you're going to get if you extend from something, it will want to create a constructor that looks exactly like the constructor as its superclass, meaning basically if we hover over this, we can create a constructor matching super. And we're going to do this, and you're going to see that it basically creates exactly what we had in the dog class right here, right? Where we call the super. And the cool thing about this is that because it matches the same basic method signature of the constructor, but that's exactly what we wanted. So that's actually perfect in this case, right? So now you might ask, can I just make a cat? Let's make a cat, right? So cat, we're going to tap to autocomplete so that it imports to the class, because we still need to import that class. This is going to be whiskers, because I am very good with names. Cat over here is whiskers.png, and then this is going to be whiskers as a name, and let's say whiskers is 4 years old. And you see, we have made a cat. So you might say, okay, that's pretty cool. That's not that bad. Well, finally, let's just output some stuff, right? I mean, I guess Whiskers can, you know, let's display some info. Whiskers can also have a birthday because all of this is defined in the animal class, which is freaking fantastic. So all of this can be used, right? Finally, whiskers.makeSound. Now, one thing that you will find is the following. If I run this, it's all fine and well, except for Benji made a sound, Whiskers made a sound. Now that's not believable, is it? Because at the end of the day, if we think about a cat and a dog, now they don't make a sound, okay? A cat meows and a dog woofs, okay? That's just the case. Now, luckily, there's something called inheritance, overriding, and polymorphism. Let's go through this each step. When you have public methods of a superclass, right? So let's say birthday or make sound, then your subclasses can override them. So inside of the dog class, I can start typing in override, and look at this. I'm going to get basically shown over here a bunch of different methods that I could theoretically override. For example, the make sound method. Oh, really? Yes. I'm just going to do this. Boom. Now, per default, it adds an add override over here. This is just to signify that this has been overwritten. You can also see this right here with this little O over here. That basically gets you to the original sort of method, right, in the superclass. And the add override just denotes that that's the case. I do highly recommend adding this, or if it obviously is added automatically, that's totally fine. It's just going to make this a little bit easier to read, basically, because then you know, okay. Because sometimes right here, in this case, we call super.makeSound. If we were to control left click or middle mouse button click on this, it also gets us to this particular method. So if we don't do anything, the same method gets called. But we don't have to do that. We can put in here whatever we want. So if, for example, we can put in S out, and we can say name, and then we can say woofed. Boom. Now you might say, well, wait a second. I actually can't say that because name, what is that? Exactly. It has private access. Well, what do we do now? Are we going to keep it private? Are we going to, well, that's okay. We can simply make a getter for it. And here, also very importantly, we're going to not fight IntelliJ over here, but what we're going to do is we're going to simply right click, and we're going to go to generate. And then it's actually going to ask us, what do we want to generate? Well, we wanted to generate a getter right here. Boom. And we're going to click this. We're going to click on name over here. I'm going to say OK. And it generates us a getter, because getters and setters are so ubiquitous inside of object-oriented programming that they will simply, like, it's just going to be a thing that, you know, it's a known feature, let's say. And then instead of name, we can simply say get name, and now woofed. And now you might say, well, okay, let's just see. Well, Benji makes a sound right here, and let's see does he make a sound or no? Benji woofed. Oh, crap. Yep. So we can override this, and we can override the same thing in the cat. I'm just going to do this a little bit more quickly. I'm going to select this, you know, get the same method over here in the cat right now, and here it's going to be meowed, right? Meowed. There you go. Now, you might say, okay, that's all fine and well, and now, you know, our that's all fine and well. We can have a birthday, we can make sounds, all of that is fine. However, what does polymorphism mean over here? Like, you know, you might be like, okay, this works, but like polymorphism, I'm still a little bit confused. Okay, so let's now say that instead of creating a cat and a dog, I don't really care what it is. Let's say I have a, you know, you just go onto a website or something like that, and it says, and asks you for an animal, right? So I'm asking here, maybe I have an animal, and then it's like my cute animal. Okay, so that's my cute animal. And now I don't care what it is. I just care that it's an animal, right? I don't care if it's a dog, a cat, or maybe, you know, I don't know if you know, an iguana, if you can keep those as pets. Well, it doesn't say pet, it says animal, so fair enough. But, you know, basically, what is your cute animal? It doesn't really matter over here. We can simply put whatever is an animal in here. So we can make a new dog, for example, and we can call him Charlie again. Let's do charlie.png, right? And this is Charlie. And I believe Charlie was, what, 14, 15, something like that, 13? Let's do 15. It's an old dog, but that's okay. So now we have a cute dog over here, my cute animal, but that is an animal, right? So this is a variable of the type animal. We can hover over this and we can see this is an animal. Let's see what we can call my cute animal dot. So we can call get age, we can call get display, get name, get birth or birthday, and make sound. Okay, interesting. So we can still access everything. If we now would call make sound, here's the crazy thing. This is an animal, right? This is not, it is under the hood, it's a dog, but it's an animal. So this is what polymorphism is. It's going to use the most sort of quote unquote up-to-date method, right? So if we call this, you can see that Charlie woofed. Even though the variable itself was an animal, and you would think that it's taking this particular make sound method, no, it always takes the one that's, you know, that's closest to its actual sort of type in this case, which would be the dog, right? So because it's a dog, it woofs, even though it's saved with an animal variable. And now let's say for the sake of argument, both the dog and the cat would have a, I don't even know, like a certain method over here that's like specific to them, right? Let's say this is a belly rub right here, just for the sake of argument, and then maybe the cat is gonna have a maybe a scratch method, right? Just for the sake of argument, scratch over here, right? There you go. Because let's be honest, you're not gonna belly rub a cat. I mean, it happens, but it's very rare. It's very rare. Yeah. Now the question is, okay, if I now do my cute animal, can I now do a belly rub? No, I can't. Right? I cannot call that method over here because the my cute animal is an animal, and we may or may not know that it's a dog. Let's say we know that it's a dog. What we can then do is we can actually cast it. Wait a second, casting. We've heard about this before. Yes. Because here it gets cool, okay? So what we're going to do is my cute animal, and then we're going to do a dot cast, right? So we're just going to write dot cast, and then hit the tab key to autocomplete this, and we're going to cast this to a dog. So tab to autocomplete again. We are now at the very end over here, and we can now use the dot over here, and now my cute animal is going to be treated as a dog. So belly rub, boom, we can belly rub. And let's just say for the sake of argument, we actually output something over here. Belly rubbed of get name, boom, right? And then here we can say, maybe we do a s out, and this is going to be get name just scratched you, just so that we have this as well. Right, boom, right? And now we call this, or we run this, boom, belly rubbed of Charlie. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yep. So you can see how the complexity just builds and builds and builds. If you can't see the exact application of this, that's totally okay. Like, that's not an issue at all, because the actual application of this is much, it can sometimes be a little bit harder, and this is still quite abstract. I'm giving you that. That's also why I asked in the very beginning of the lecture over here, if this is something you've understood after this. Let's freaking go. Let's go. This is awesome. If you may need another example, maybe a little bit of a different one, maybe a little bit more. Number one, I will link a couple of links in the description below, because sometimes for specifically inheritance polymorphism, it's going to take a while, right? I mean, if after 20 minutes of a 20-minute lecture, you've understood this perfectly, I mean, that would be amazing. Absolutely. But it's going to be a rough one, right? So that's not going to be a thing that you just understand immediately. And you're going to probably have to see a lot of examples, and you will also likely just have to play around with this a little bit, right? Like, just think about a couple of other things. Maybe make your own animal, right? Have it extend the animal class. See what you can come up with, and just play around with this and see, okay, what happens if I do this? What happens if I were to add a method over here? What if I make this method private? What happens if I do this, right? Just go around and play around with this a little bit, and then hopefully that is going to help. I think that usually helps the most, right? If you just are open to experimentation, and you just go ahead and you just, you know, use this as a basic building block, and then go from there. As per usual, you have the code available to you, like the exact same, like this exact code, so you can get it, and you can run it once, and you can say, okay, this definitely works, and then you can just go from there and just go freaking crazy. That's basically what I can suggest here in this case. And that concludes inheritance and polymorphism. Like I said, both quite crucial concepts as well in object-oriented programming, and they can be quite hard to master. Feel free to leave any feedback down in the comments below. If you've not understood something, then I'll also happily answer some questions, or like I said, I am also totally willing to make another example here, for example, with like vehicles and cars and something like that. I think that could be quite interesting as well. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this video right here. Hope you found this useful and you learned something new. I'll see you all in the next video. So, yeah.